This is my Lego city, and in it I have hundreds of minifigures. And then this Lego book just came out about Spider-Man, and today we're going to go through that book and see how many of those figures I have in my Lego Marvel city. Alright, so starting off with the book, on the front we have the regular Spider-Man, Venomized Green Goblin, which I don't know why they added the Venomized one, and then Gwen Stacy, but we're not going to count all this stuff, we're going to count the actual pages. So let's open it up. Right here, we just have a normal like red character comic book page, pretty cool. Then inside we have Spider-Man Explored the Spider-Verse, and in here we have a table of continents, getting to know the multiverse, and just some like how the book works basically. Alright, chapter 1, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Now this video, I'm going to kind of read through it a bit, but we'll just see how it goes. First page, I actually don't have any of these minifigures because this came in a set that I wasn't able to get my hands on. And then also these all came in this bank set, which I didn't get. I mainly have, I feel like I have a pretty decent Spider-Man collection, but this book will be my way of seeing how many I actually have. Now this page, some of them are longer, so I'll try to show it off my best. I do not have this MJ and Ned, but I have the Spider-Man, which we are going to go look at in my city. The first Spidey I have is of course on this Daily Bugle, and it is right here. Kind of hard to see, but I have Sandman holding him. And I do not have this Aunt May, which came in the Bridge Battle set. Going on to the next page. Here we have the Cyborg suit for Spider-Man, which I have right here. And let's go over to that. I have Cyborg Spider-Man down here getting electrocuted with Electro because like he's a cyborg, he's a robot. So I thought it was pretty fitting to have Electro electrocuting him. This minifigure is the one that comes with the book. I think it looks really good. The detail, the arm printing is just so perfect and looks amazing. And then here's the Stealth suit and Iron Spider suit. These both came in the same page as that Peter Parker with like the mask on top I showed you a little bit ago. I do not have that set, and that set is showcased later in this book. Now on the next page, we have this Spider-Man right here. Up here, flying on the Vulture, I have this Spider-Man, which I kind of use as like a variation for Japanese Spider-Man because I think it looks like him. So that's just a fun occlusion I have. And then over here in this cockpit, you can kind of see it a little bit. You have Spider-Noir, which I do not have because I thought he was going to be in the CMF. But if you've seen the leaks, you know it's not. Or my video, which, by the way, if you've seen that video, it got taken down for copyright. And then on this page, we have Spider-Man Avenger, which is the Quinjet set is what they show off. This Spider-Man is the same one that they showed in the bank, which I do not have, but I do have all these other minifigures. Now, the Doctor Strange minifigures, I have 4 of. I have one up here fighting Gargantos, one right here trying to stop Gargantos from throwing the car, and then 2 back here again fighting Gargantos. And those Avengers are actually over here. I have all those with the Quinjet that I have. Now my very first video ever on this channel is a review of this Quinjet. It's pretty bad, but if you want to go watch it, you can. And fun fact, not many people saw that video, but my Iron Man is actually a misprint. You can see his eyes are a bit shifted down. And on the next page, here's the Spider-Man layer, which these 3 suits are in that it showed. Let me know if you want me to get any of these minifigures to add to my city in the future, or if you want me to review any of these sets, just leave a comment down below. This Green Goblin, I have the figure of, which you can see a little bit better over here with the leg printing and everything, but I do not have this glider. I got the one that came with the Daily Bugle, so I'll show you that, and I also have a bunch of this Spider-Man. I have a lot of that classic Spider-Man, starting off right here with Old Man Spidey. Then over here we have Chef Spidey. Coming up here we have Mech Suit Spidey. Then right here, we just have a normal Spidey web swinging. Over here, Firefighter Spidey. And up at the very top, we have a Spider-Man just shooting a web down at Doc Ock. But then also right here is where I have that classic Green Goblin bursting out of the window. Next page is the Daily Bugle. Now, I can barely get this into frame, but I have actually 2 of these Daily Bugles. And you see that it has Doc Ock, Spider-Man, Firestar, J. Jonah Jameson, Ghost Spider, Mysterio, Green Goblin, Venom, Daredevil, Sandman, Carnage, and you can see Blade, which they didn't show off Blade for some reason, but I have all those. Now for the Daily Bugle, I can't get it fully in frame, but I actually have 2 Daily Bugles put on top of each other, and all the minifigures in there. Right here, up at the very top, we have Doc Ock just climbing up to the top with Aunt May. Then if we come all the way over here, flying off of my X-Mansion, I actually have Firestar. And then right over here is, of course, that classic Spidey again. Down here, there's the Green Goblin. Then let's see, who else is here? Oh, yeah. Up here, I have Ghost Spider. And then down here, I have 2 Mysterios, which went ahead and gave one of them a ghost piece from Ninjago. And I have it like the MCU Mysterio is like casting projections of comic book Mysterio. And then, where's he at? Right here, we have Venom fighting Anti-Venom and then kind of getting like captured by the mech suit. Down all the way over here, fighting Echo, we have Daredevil. And then, let's see, I actually don't have that Sandman in my in here. I decided to put this Sandman up there instead. Down here I have Carnage, and then not shown off as a name for some reason, but over here I have Blade slicing Morbius. Almost forgot to show it off, but around like right there you can see I have J. Jonah Jameson with a web on his hands and web on his face. Next page we have other Spider Heroes. Now I don't have many extra other Spider-Man, so we'll see how this goes. First off, Miles Morales. I have this Miles Morales figure. Over here on top of my X-Mansion, we actually have that Miles Morales figure, and I have him like electrocuting off a bunch of Outriders that were attacking him. I have this Carnage figure, but I do not have it with these tentacles, which Bricklink shows as a different figure, so I'm going to say I don't have that, and I don't have this red webbing Spider-Man. Next page, here we have one about Ghost Spider. I have multiple of this Ghost Spider in the city, but I do not have this Green Goblin. Here we have Spider-Girl, and I do have the Spider-Girl. This is the one that came out a couple years ago. I got it at a used store for $20, which I thought was a pretty good deal. And then they announced the new set that came out with her in it. So, yeah. But I do not have this comic book Doc Ock. This is a figure I am looking for, though. So if I ever see it for a good deal, I'm definitely getting that. Up here at the top of my Daily Bugle is the Anya Spider-Girl. I just have her like jumping off of the sign, swinging a web, about to go down and attack Sandman. And then on the next page is Ben Reilly as Scarlet Spider. I do not have this set. This minifigure came in the bridge battle. Like I said, I don't have Scarlet Spider, but I actually do have this custom 3D printed giant Scarlet Spider that I made. I do have the Spider-Girl from the set though, so I'll show that off real quick. Here we have Spider-Girl just fighting Rhino upside down doing a flip. That's really cool to me. But I do not have Ben Reilly. This is my most wanted Lego set. Like, if I could pick one Lego set to have, it would be this and then the Shield Helicarrier. But it has Scorpion shown off and also Kraven. I will be getting the new Lego set that has Kraven in it, though, that comes out on August 1st, so stay tuned to that. Next page is a Spidey for every universe. It shows off Spider-Man 2099, which I did not get because it's coming out in the new CMF. So I didn't want to buy that. I didn't want to pay $70 for it when I can go get it for $5 soon. Again, I don't have Spider-Man nor Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. I wasn't collecting when that minifigure came out, so I don't have that, but I do have Spider-Ham, which I will show off right now in the Daily Bugle. Right here on Sandman, I have my Spider-Pig. I want to go ahead and give him my Harley Quinn hammer, but I can't seem to find it. But once I find it, I will definitely be giving it to him. Next page, Spidey's United. This is about the set that came out for Spider-Man No Way Home. It shows off Ned Leeds, Doctor Strange, Electro, Spider-Man, Green Goblin, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, MJ, Amazing Spider-Man, and Doc Ock. I have this set, so I have every one of these figures, and here they are. Now, from No Way Home, of course, I have my Doctor Strange just over here. But then I have Ned and MJ up there, like fist bumping. I don't know why. And then over here, we have that Electro, Doc Ock, and Green Goblin fighting the Spider-Man, trying to get the box from him. And since I don't have the Scorpion minifigure, I actually found this outside of a hockey game, so I went ahead and put that little Scorpion piece there as like a little Easter egg. And then right here, I have the Amazing Spider-Man. And then up here, kind of swinging down, I have the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Chapter 3, The Villains in Spidey's Web. Going on to the first page, this Green Goblin right here, as you can see right there a little bit, it does not have leg printing, so I do not have this minifigure. And this is just your generic Spider-Man, which I had already shown off and I have a lot. And I thought it was interesting. Up here, they show a friendly, what is this show called? Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Not the good one, the bad one. Which I will say, though, this book does not show off Iceman. It showed off Firestar in the Daily Bugle page, but it does not show off Iceman, which they have an Iceman minifigure. It's right there. So I don't know why they didn't show it off to pay tribute to that original show. Spidey vs. Dr. Octopus. This set shows off the Spider-Man monster truck set, which it's a bad set, but honestly I kind of want it because it's cool. It has Ghost Spider, your classic Spider-Man that we've seen a million times, and then this Doc Ock, and then the Spidey and his amazing friends Doc Ock. I do not have any minifigures on this page, so let's go on to the next one. Alright, on the next page, it shows off this Venom set, which I'm surprised they didn't show off all the different kinds of Venom, like all the Venomized sets. I do not have this set, but I do have this Venom figure and this Miles Morales figure. Right here is actually that Miles Morales figure. I know you can't see the back, but I have him kind of going up to save Aunt May. And then, of course, right there is the Venom, which I showed earlier. Those I do not have Pork Grind because I wasn't collecting when he came out, but he is on my list of minifigures to get. Next page, Spidey vs. Mysterio. I do have this Mysterio figure. I do not have him with this piece, though, but this is the one I already showed off in the Daily Bugle. Same classic Spider-Man. I want to get a couple of these drones, though, to set up with my Mysterio little setup, which I showed you earlier. Right here shows off the Fire Monster. I don't know why they didn't call him by his normal name, but here he is in my Lego City. Here's a better look at my little Mysterio battle I have going on with the two Mysterios I got from the Daily Bugle. But then if we come all the way over here to the road past the Avengers Tower, I have Molten Man fighting Captain Marvel, Iron Man, and Adam Warlock. Right here we have Spider-Man vs. Sandman. This shows off the Spider-Man No Way Home set, and then one other Sandman minifigure, which I do not have. Honestly, this is the set that Spider-Man 2099 came in. I was thinking about buying this set for $130 used, but I decided not to because of that new CMF coming out. It shows the integrated suit Spider-Man, which we already looked at, but actually I have two in my Lego City because I like the suit. Here we have that giant Sandman, that build that came with this. I went ahead and instead of just fixing up this window, I thought it'd be cool to have Sandman bursting out, which I just added a couple of my own pieces to kind of connect him there and stabilize him. He has fallen once, and it's done a lot of damage once it falls. But up here, also, I have the lizard, jumping out at a web, give this set some death. And then I have the unmasked version of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and you can actually see Lizard is holding his mask because he was successfully able to unmask him. And then when I showed you that, you also just saw the Lizard. And here's the Sandman again, and I have a different version of this Electro, which these sets came out with two. I have them both. One of them, which I showed earlier, has the more bigger electric pieces, and this one just has small ones, so I wanted the more advanced, cool looking one. Next page, Spider-Man vs. Vulture. I do not have any of the Vulture minifigures on this set. I will go ahead and show off the one that I do have. I'm still going to show off this Vulture because I'm proud of it, but I actually have the Vulture up here with my Japanese Spider-Man, and then the Night Monkey Spider-Man kind of swinging off of him. But I am looking to get Shocker, and I really do want this Vulture, and also a classic comic book one. Next page, Spider-Man vs. Electro. I do have this Electro minifigure, and I have a variation of this minifigure, which I took the legs off of and added a hat onto, which I will show off. Yeah, here's the Electro fighting the Cyborg Spider-Man that came in this book. It's very fitting because Electro can just electrocute his suit and short-circuit it. And here, coming out of the bottom of Sandman, we have that minifigure with the Explorer Indiana Jones hat on. But I do not have this female Electro because I didn't want to pay that much for a minifigure I didn't really care about. Alright, last page of the book, Spidey vs. Rhino. I do not have, I have this Spider-Man suit, but I do not have this Rhino right here. But I do have this Rhino, though, which is right there, actually, and let's go over to there. Right here is Rhino again, being flipped by Spider-Girl, which it's like the thing you can do in the PS4 game. So I thought that was pretty cool, just have her attach a web to his foot and just flip him upside down. Next page is just the glossary, tells you Avenger, counter-futuristic, gruesome, just glossary. And then the next page is an index, which just shows all the characters in the set, and if you want to look at that, you can. And then the very last page, just some boring stuff, doesn't matter. But this has been my sort of review of this book. I think it's pretty good. They could have added some more characters, like I said, Iceman. Maybe just some more characters that he interacts with, like Hulk, Wolverine, I don't know. Just have like a more detailed friends page, I guess. But overall, I think I'm doing pretty good on how many Spider-Man I have. And let me know if I should get any Spider-Man sets or minifigures and if you want reviews on any of that.